And a pleasant good evening and welcome to Skyland's Ice World inside the Forum for Pope John Middle School Hockey. Mike Formersano along with you calling tonight's action as the 7-0 Pope John Junior Lions Middle School Hockey team take on the Ringwood Lancers. Pope John defeated Ringwood last time out 14-0, and they are 7-0 on this season with only 3 regular season games to go. Meanwhile, Ringwood around 500 throughout the season, and they try to avenge their 14-0 loss to Pope John earlier this year. This is game number 8 in the regular season schedule for the Pope John Junior Lions. Next week, they take on High Point, and in 2 weeks, they take on Jefferson to finish out the regular season. But first are the Ringwood Lancers, and they are next. Pope John and Ringwood right here inside the Forum at Skyland's Ice World in Stockholm, New Jersey. Mike Formersano here calling tonight's action. Thank you so much for joining us. We will give you the roster for Pope John in just a little bit. The goaltenders in goal for Pope John, James Boyce, number 33, and the Ringwood goalie, number 27. And I'm trying to remember the name, so we'll just go with the number. It's Logan Economist, I believe, but don't quote me on that. So, asked the coach before the game and didn't have a pen to write it down. So we'll just go with names and numbers, or numbers with Ringwood as number 27 in goal for the Lancers. The head coach of the Pope John Junior Lions is Maria Petro. Assistant coaches Charlie Spetz and Mark Weaver, as they'll make appearances throughout the season. The opening line for the Pope John Lions tonight will be Ronnie Ziegler, number 23, with Hayden Marshall on the right wing, number 36, Tristan Stillwagon on the left. He is number 24, Logan Dixon, number 9, and Aiden Armiger, number 6. Here's the opening draw between Pope John and Ringwood as we get set to get started. Game number 8 on the schedule for Pope John. And here comes Stillwagon inside the Ringwood zone. Stillwagon with the shot just wide left of the goal. And now it comes in saved by the Ringwood netminder. Goes in the corner, and there is Ziegler behind the net. Ronnie Ziegler with the pass out to Stillwagon. Stillwagon transferred to his forehand. It goes out to Ziegler. Now back to the point to Aiden Armiger. Just out of his reach. And goes back to neutral ice. When Armiger sends it back in, it's on an offside. Just underway here inside the Forum at Skyland's Ice World. It is the Pope John Junior Lions and the Ringwood Lancers. Line for the Lions now. Michael Formersano will center number 15, Josh Boyce, along with the left wing, and that is Caden Chamberlain, number 8. Hannah Marshall and Aiden Armiger on defense right now for Pope John. Puck goes to Boyce. Skates over Lou. Stole away by number 8 for Ringwood, but there's Formersano with it. Michael Formersano, number 22, coming in. Formersano with the pass across the Boyce, just out of his reach, and it goes to the far boards. Armiger with the shot. Deflected down, and it goes all the way down the ice as it comes in on goal. James Boyce with the save for Pope John, number 33. Now out to Chamberlain, number 8 for Pope John. It escapes his own, goes back out to neutral ice, and Chamberlain picks it up. Pope John in their blue jerseys with white trim and the Pope John Middle School logo and the name on the front of the jersey with names and numbers in white on the back. Ringwood in their red jerseys with the L for Lancers and the numbers on the back, number 16. Formersano racing in, and the goaltender for Ringwood will freeze it for no further play. We are here live inside the Forum at Skyland's Ice World. Pope John and Ringwood, no scores, we're just underway. Ziegler will take the draw for Pope John. It's won by Ringwood, and it goes into the corner behind the net. Picked up there by number 21 for Ringwood. Sends it around the boards. Held in by Stillwagon, but it comes finally back out of the zone. Right in front of us, there's Logan Dixon, number 9. Ziegler picks it up. Ziegler on the red line. Cross-ice pass to Marshall, number 36. Back to Ziegler, 23. Ronnie Ziegler into the Ringwood end. The shot on goal, he scores! Ronnie Ziegler past the Ringwood netminder, and the Pope John Lions go up 1-0. Ziegler's goal comes with 12:57 to go in the first period. Ronnie Ziegler puts the Pope John Lions up 1-0. Lions looking to go 8-0 on this season. They are 2 games ahead of both West Milford Pequannock as well as High Point. Both those teams are playing right now in Coliseum Ice, or on Coliseum Ice, I should say, inside the Coliseum. Here's Marshall. Loses possession, it goes over to Stillwagon. Tristan Stillwagon in, slap shot, save by the netminder for Ringwood. And it goes into the near corner. Ziegler picks it up behind the net, now to Marshall in front. Stillwagon with it. Pass across the crease, it goes to the far boards, and now picked up by number 21 for Ringwood. Across the blue line, now across the red. Holds up at the blue line. Make sure everybody's on side. They send it into the Pope John end, but Aiden Armiger takes it. And we have a whistle as we have looks like an equipment issue for the Ringwood goaltender. Not the first name, it was Logan. Couldn't get the last name, or I did, and I didn't remember it, so my apologies there. We will try and have rosters for later in the season, especially as we get to postseason play. It's a little tough when the players come in and out like they do in developmental leagues such as this. Obviously, we have a Pope John roster. Sometimes there are changes to that roster, too. I mean, Caden Chamberlain came into the lineup today, number 8 for Pope John. Hannah Marshall plays with Pope John sometimes, not every week, but she's been for the past few. She's been a good addition, wearing number 17. Formersano taking the draw with Boyce on the right and Chamberlain on the left. Along the boards, Chamberlain back to Arminger. Now over to Josh Boyce. Stolen away by number 2 for Ringwood. Now to number 8. Lance is inside the Pope John end. There's Hannah Marshall with the backhand through the crease and then along the near boards. Marshall clear the zone. It goes back out to neutral ice. Pass number 23 and into the Ringwood end. Pass across to number 2, right in front of the official scores table. 2 inside the zone. Cleared out of the way by Armiger. Good defensive play by number 6, Aiden Armiger. Here's 23 from Ringwood over to 15. Back behind the net it goes. Number 8 with the shot. Glove save by Boyce, and he'll cover. Good save by James Boyce, and he holds on. 11:19 to go here in the first period. 1-0, Pope John leads on a goal by Ronnie Ziegler. As I was saying, West Milford Pequannock and High Point are playing on the Coliseum ice right now across the hallway. Pope John has defeated West Milford Pequannock twice. That is West Milford Pequannock's only 2 losses of the season. And meanwhile, they defeated High Point when they played them the first time, so they're playing for a second now. High Point has losses to West Milford Pequannock and Pope John. Ziegler take the draw. That's Stillwagon on the right, Marshall on the left. Marshall and Dixon on defense. Here's Hayden with it right at the blue line. He'll send it into the Ringwood end. I told you I'd find out what that L stood for, and they got confirmation from the head coach right afterwards. Although I saw it online, and it had probably 95% certainty it was the Lancers, because they play out of Lakewood. Lakewood and Ringwood, and the team is known as the Lancers. That's why there's an L on the jersey. In the near corner, number 16 has it for Ringwood. Stolen away by Hayden Marshall. Pass across to Stillwagon. Comes back to center ice, and Hannah Marshall gives chase. Marshall's got number 25 on her. Pass across to Logan Dixon. Dixon will take it behind the net. Here's Logan Dixon up ice. Over the blue line, now over the red. Logan Dixon with a rush across the blue line, coming in. The shot. It goes wide, and Ziegler tried to put home the rebound, but that was wide as well. Here is Arminger. Pass to Stillwagon. Tristan Stillwagon with it. Up to Hayden Marshall. Ringwood intercepts. Here's number 17 for the Lancers. Inside the zone, the shot deflected by Arminger. And it goes into the near corner where Ziegler picks it up. Is Ronnie Ziegler in front of the Zamboni doors. Pass up ice to Hayden Marshall. Hayden Marshall gets a hit by number 24, but Marshall picks it up. Marshall drops below the goal line, looking for a wraparound attempt. Can't convert. and it goes into the far corner. Back to the point to Armiger. Aiden Armiger with the slap shot. Saved by the Ringwood netminder. And it comes out to number 4. Now Stillwagon in the high slot. The pass into Marshall. Marshall on the backhand. The shot. He scores! Hayden Marshall, a backhander, past number 27, the Ringwood goalie. And the Pope John Junior Lions go up 2-0. Marshall's goal comes with 9:22 remaining in the first period. Hayden Marshall puts the Pope John Lions up 2-0. Formasano will take the draw. He's got Boyce on the right, Chamberlain on the left, Marshall and Armiger on defense. Formasano wins it, gives it back to Armiger. Aiden Armiger with a second attempt now as it deflected off number 7 for Ringwood. Pass to Formasano. Back to Armiger. Formasano takes a hit at center ice. And Ringwood steals the puck. Number 21 over to number 7. I don't know how cold it is. It is almost as cold inside here at Skylands Ice World. At least it feels that way. As it is outside. Here's Formasano with the shot. Blocker glove saved by the Ringwood netminder, and it bounced up into the air. Now here's Chamberlain with the shot. Save. Rebound is loose. And Pope John can't put it home. Now Formasano in the near corner. I mean, temperature-wise, it's probably not. There's no wind in here. Formasano with the backhander. Goes off kick plate. 14 picks it up for Ringwood. And now sends it into the far corner. There's number 7 for the Lancers. Checked by Formasano. Knocks down the Ringwood player. Here's Josh Boyce with it. Boyce, number 15. Back to Marshall. Here's Hannah Marshall with the shot. Off the skate of number 11. Now Formasano in the corner. Michael Formasano back out to the hash marks. The shot off of number 11 again. Down to Armiger. Aiden Armiger with the shot. Deflected down off Ringwood and it goes to center ice. Here's Armiger, number 21 and number 4 chasing him down. It goes over to Boyce. Josh Boyce inside the Ringwood zone. Pass across to Chamberlain. Chamberlain on the backhand. The shot goes wide into the far corner. Now here's Formasano. Can't get to it as Ringwood's able to escape the zone. Along the far boards, Formasano with it now. Fighting with number 8. Number 8 takes him down, and Ringwood takes the puck. Formasano wanted a penalty. He's not going to get it. Puck comes in. Stick save by Boyce as he pokes it into the far corner. There's Hannah Marshall with it. Marshall trying to pass to Stillwagon. She gets the puck back and goes the other way. Along the near boards now, number 28 for Ringwood. Checked by Armiger. 28 still with the puck in the near corner. Goes back behind the Pope John net. There's Armiger passing it out to Chamberlain. Goes into center ice, and there's Ringwood with it. Here's number 23 inside the Pope John end in the low slot. The shot saved by Boyce, and he'll hold on. Good save by James Boyce. And with 6:46 remaining in the first period, it remains 2-0 Pope John. Plenty of activity around Pope John Athletics coming up this week. Got some Pope John basketball, boys and girls for middle school. We will start on Tuesday as the girls team takes on Pequannock Valley Middle School at Pequannock on Tuesday at 4 p.m. And then at 7:30 on Tuesday, Pope John boys basketball team will take on Newton Middle School. And that's at 7:30 at Pope John High School. And then Pope John boys basketball with another game at 3:30 on Wednesday, followed up by the girls on Saturday as they will play Memorial. They'll play at Memorial against Pequannock as well. It's a 4 p.m. start as part of a tournament. So 2 games for the boys, 2 games for the girls. We also had wrestling earlier this week as they finished 3rd in the Mount Olive tournament. So the wrestling team doing well. And there's your update on Pope John Middle School sports. Here's number 2, back to the point. Can't hold it. It comes outside the zone. And Ringwood picks it up right in front of us. Number 23 will send it back into the Pope John end. Hannah Marshall with the pass to Brother Hayden. Now to Stillwagon at the red line. Here's Marshall back to Dixon. Logan Dixon will turn back around. Gives it to Ziegler. Ziegler and Hayden Marshall with goals so far for Pope John as they lead by a deuce. Tristan Stillwagon inside the zone. Comes in to Hayden Marshall. A shot saved by the Ringwood goalie. Here is Marshall again. Marshall skating back to the blue line. He'll backhand it into the corner where Stillwagon picks it up. Stillwagon with the pass back to Dixon. Logan Dixon with it. Puck's loose and picked up by Ringwood. The Lancers a lot tighter in this game than they were the first time they played Pope John. That game was a 14-0 victory for the Lions. This game is 10 minutes in, and the Lions only have a 2-0 lead. Here's Dixon with the pass to Ziegler at the red line. Now Stillwagon picks it up. Tristan Stillwagon over the blue, and we have an offside. Aiden Marshall or Ronnie Ziegler were maybe about a quarter step too soon.
Hi, Logan.
4:48 to go, first period. 2-0 Pope John leads over Ringwood. We're inside the Forum here at Skylands Ice World in Stockholm, New Jersey. The Lions will hit the ice again next Sunday night, 7 p.m. It'll be Pope John and High Point. The High Point Kitty and Wallkill team. That'll be game number 9 of the season. Will Pope John be a perfect 8-0? Or will they have dropped their first game of the season and be only 7-1? We shall see. Armiger behind the net. Now here's Dixon. Logan Dixon in the near corner. Gets around number 4. Now Dixon skates up over the blue line. Got the puck at neutral ice. Caden Chamberlain with it. Over to Armiger. Armiger to Formisano. Michael Formisano inside the zone. The shot deflected and into the netting above the glass and out of play. 4:07 remaining, first period. 2-0. Pope John leads over Ringwood. Formisano will take the draw to the left of the Ringwood netminder. He wins it, but it goes over to the right wing for Ringwood. Inside the zone, number 17 with the shot. Saved by Boyce. Good glove save by James Boyce. They'll hold on. No shots on goal being recorded, so flow's been back and forth between both teams. I would say the shots on goal pretty even so far. Formisano will take the face-off against number 8 to the right of Boyce. Formisano wins it, gives it to Chamberlain. Chamberlain wraps it around the boards to the far end. Now Formisano in the corner. He's got number 8 in there as well. Formisano wins it, and he goes forward with it. Michael Formisano over the blue line, now over the red. Coming into the Ringwood zone. Formisano on the face-off dot. The shot deflected down by number 11. And Pope John's going to get a power play as Formisano's tripped down. And so Ringwood will go to the box and Pope John to a power play. 3:32 to go, first period. Here's the call.
38 minor rough.
No, roughing call against number 8 for Ringwood. And the faceoff will be deep inside the Lancers' end. 2-0, Pope John leads over Ringwood. Ziegler with the draw. Gets it back to Hannah Marshall. Marshall to Armiger. Aiden Armiger with the slapper. Off the boards. Back around to the near boards and to Hannah Marshall. Now over to Ziegler. Ziegler. The backhand pass to Armiger along the far boards. Goes back behind the net. There's Stillwagon in the near corner. To Hayden Marshall behind the net. Marshall with it. Marshall trying to tuck it in past the Ringwood goalie. That is Ziegler looking for the top shelf. He can't hit it. Now Stillwagon to Hannah Marshall. Marshall pass across to Armiger. Armiger with the shot. Deflected in, and the Ringwood netminder will cover. Stillwagon gets a shove afterwards. Tristan didn't appreciate it. And so physicality after the faceoff, the referees clean that up. 2:57 remaining in the first period. Pope John leads by a deuce. 2-0. Face-off to the right of the Ringwood goalie. Ziegler with the draw. He wins it. Takes it back to the blue line. Pass across to Marshall. Now to Ziegler, the shot. Deflects past the goalie, but not into the net. It was behind the net. Shot by Armiger goes wide along the near boards, and Ringwood will play it out of the zone. Here comes number 25. He loses possession in the midst of 3 Lions. Now Ziegler. Turnover to number 20 for Ringwood. Shot on goal. Saved by Boyce. Picked up by number 23, or 28, I should say, for Ringwood, but stolen away by Ziegler. Now Marshall with it. Hayden Marshall. Marshall coming across the blue. Sent all the way back down by Ringwood. On goal and a stick save by James Boyce. Here's Logan Dixon. Dixon to Hayden Marshall. Marshall with the backhand over to Ziegler at the blue line. Ronnie Ziegler inside the zone. Ridden off the puck by number 28. He goes back behind the net for it. Over to Stillwagon. Stillwagon with the shot. Saved by the Ringwood goalie. It's back behind the Ringwood net. Puck comes back to the point. Dixon. Logan Dixon fires. Deflected. Goes past the left post and off the backboards. Puck's in the near corner. And the Lancers pick it up. Into neutral ice. There's number 25 for Ringwood. Dixon on him. Number 25 looking to turn around. Can't do so. Dixon takes it behind the net. Stolen away by 20. Number 20 on the left side of the net. Looking to set up a shot. Can't do so. Here's Marshall. Marshall with Ziegler. 2-on-3. Ziegler's in the zone, so Marshall has to hold up. He'll skate it back to the red line. Waits for Ronnie to get back on side. Sends it in, but Ringwood picks it up right beyond the blue line. Here is Josh Boyce. Loses possession. It goes over to Hannah Marshall. Hannah Marshall, number 17, cross ice pass to Ziegler. Ronnie Ziegler with it along the far boards. Inside the Ringwood end, in the corner now. Reverses course on 23. Trying to come into the left post, can't get there. Number 23 knocks down Josh Boyce. Maintains the puck. Gets around the fence. Outside the zone. We're in neutral ice now. Here's number 25. Stolen away by Dixon. Logan Dixon on a rush. The pass to Josh Boyce just out of his reach. But it goes into the far corner. We're down to 23 seconds to go. Saved by the Ringwood goalie. And here's Ringwood over the blue line. Now over the red. Ringwood looking to come in. Good check by Formasano. Knocks him off the puck. Number 25 picks it up for Ringwood. 25 inside the Pope John end. The shot on goal. Glove save by Boyce. And he'll hold on with 4.6 remaining. Well, Boyce will hold on, and Pope John will get a face-off deep inside their end. It'll be Formasano on the draw against number 25 for the Lancers. Here's a face-off, won by Formasano. Goes into the corner. Dixon picks it up. And as Logan skates behind the net, the buzzer sounds. And that's the end of the first period. Goals for Pope John, Ronnie Ziegler, and then Hayden Marshall. And the Lions lead 2-0 after the first period. We'll be back to the Forum inside Skylands Ice World right after this. It is. Welcome back to Skylands Ice World inside the Forum for Pope John Middle School Hockey. Mike Formasano here calling tonight's action as the Pope John Junior Lions looking for their 8th win of the season. They're taking on Ringwood, and the Lions lead 2-0 on goals by Ronnie Ziegler and Hayden Marshall. Opening face-off in the second period, it'll be Tristan Stillwagon against number 6 for Ringwood. Pope John now going right to left on your screen in their blue uniforms, trimmed by white. Here's the shot by Ziegler. Stick save off the Ringwood goaltender. And it goes back behind the net, picked up by Stillwagon. There's number 17. Much closer this time between Pope John and Ringwood than the first game between these two teams. And here's Ziegler with the shot off the crossbar, and it hits the roof. Oh, Ziegler with that powerful shot right at the hash marks. He rung the crossbar and hit off the roof right above the goal. So, whereas the first game between Pope John and Ringwood was 14-0 final score, this one 2-0 after one period. Shot in by Ziegler, saved by the Ringwood netminder, and he'll hold on. Good pressure by the Lions and just can't get past the goaltender. Here's Stillwagon with the draw against number 6. Back to Ziegler again. The shot off the glass and along the near boards. Picked up by Arminger. Hayden Arminger with it. He'll send it in. Back behind to Hayden Marshall. Marshall defended behind the net. We'll go to the near corner. Now back to Dixon. Dixon into Stillwagon. The shot. Save. The rebound is loose. And it's underneath the Ringwood goaltender, underneath the left pad. And he freezes it for no further play. Pope John continuing to turn on the heat. However, they're cooled down by the Ringwood goalie. Line changes for both teams. It'll be Formisano taking the draw. Boyce on the right wing and Chamberlain on the left. Formisano wins the draw, gets it back to Hannah Marshall, now to Aiden Arminger. Arminger, it's up in the air, deflected by Ringwood, and the Lancers are going to clear the zone. Here is number 2. Sends it in past Arminger, and it goes back behind the Pope John net. Number 2 picks it up. The longer Pope John leaves Ringwood in this game, the more of a threat the Lancers become to end Pope John's 7-0 record. And right on the crease, save by Boyce, and he covers. Good save by James Boyce, keeping this game 2-0. 13:46 to go, second period. Pope John looking for their 8th consecutive win against 0 losses. That is not a certainty right now. Ringwood staying in this game, and it's 2-0. Pope John leads by 2 goals. Here's Hannah Marshall behind the Pope John net. Marshall passes it up to Chamberlain. Hayden Chamberlain with the cross-ice pass. Formisano's got a break. It's inside the zone, but he's along the far boards. Formisano's got Boyce with him. The shot off the side of the net and picked up by Ringwood. Comes back outside the zone. There's Hannah Marshall. Now to Formisano on the red line. Formisano takes a hit by number 2, and we have a penalty as 2 is going after him.
2 minor trip, also a minor from Force Life.
No, double minor against Ringwood, and Formisano's getting up, going to the bench. He'll take the penalty, and he gets the extra. So, Ringwood not able to control their emotions, and they get hit with a double minor, and Pope John will go to the power play. Face-off beats to the right of the Ringwood goalie. Stillwagon will take the draw.
Yeah, so for another 130. So it should be whatever 130 plus 130. She don't care when you say enough.
13:14 remaining. Second period as the score sets up the double minor for number 2 for Ringwood. So, Lancers get hit with the first penalty, open ice hit on Formisano, and then the second one for unsportsmanlike. Waiting for the time to go on the board. And this is a big moment for the game. If Pope John's able to take advantage of this power play, it changes the whole trajectory. Ringwood has been staying in this game. And now with this double minor to number 2, really could change the course of things. As the Lancers were sticking around with Pope John, the Lions could easily put a goal or 2 on the board, make it 3 or 4-0, and really put this game out of reach.
It's just about 10-14. You just can't get the time up.
So, 3-minute minor against number 2, 2 penalties. They'll come out of the box at 10-14. That's if the Lions don't score. Here's Stillwagon with the puck right in front of the Ringwood net. Comes off the boards, and the Lancers send it all the way down. Past Boyce, and it goes behind the net. And so the face-off all the way back down in the Ringwood zone. Face-off will be to the left of the Ringwood goalie. Here's Stillwagon. He'll take the draw. It's in his skates. surrounded by 3 Ringwood Lancers, and it comes back outside the zone. Logan Dixon gives chase, goes back behind the zone net. Pass up to Marshall, intercepted by 20, the shot on goal. Glove save by James Boyce, and a hold on. Boyce has been rock solid in net again tonight for Pope John. Well, the faceoff will be deep inside the Lions' end. Stillwagon will take the draw. He wins it, goes forward with it, comes back out to the blue line. Off the boards, there's Dixon. Logan has it behind his own net. Dixon with the pass up to Stillwagon, down to Marshall. Here's Hayden Marshall with a Ronnie Ziegler. Ziegler coming in. Ziegler with the shot. He scores! Ronnie Ziegler past the Ringwood goalie. 43 seconds to go on the first minor to number 2, and so it's a power play goal for Pope John, and they go up 3-0. The goal comes at 12:27 to go in the second period. Ronnie Ziegler, his second of the game, and Pope John up 3-0, and so now that second minor proves huge as there's still another power play for Pope John. Full minute and a half to go. Now here's Dixon at the blue line. Logan Dixon skates it over the blue, now over the red. Dixon looking to come in. Dixon, the shot on goal, saved by the Ringwood goalie. Now Formisano in the near corner. Formisano looking to pass it back to Armiger. Armiger with the slap shot, saved by the Ringwood netminder. And 24 picks it up behind the net. Now here's Josh Boyce along the far boards. Boyce with Chamberlain. Number 4 for Ringwood in on it. And number 14 is going to clear the zone. Over the blue line, now over the red. 14 comes inside the zone. The shot on goal, saved by Boyce. Turns to the side, goes into the near corner. And here is Dixon. Logan Dixon. Dixon takes it over the blue line. Now over the red. Logan Dixon coming in with Formisano and Boyce. Formisano with it. Formisano towards the net. Stolen away by number 17. It's in his skates. And he turns back around, back behind. Trying to get around Chamberlain. It's in the referee's skates. And Chamberlain will dig it out. Hayden Chamberlain with the pass to Formisano. Michael Formisano along the far boards. He's got 2 defenders on him. Stolen away by number 4 for Ringwood. But he can't get around Logan Dixon. Dixon, number 9, with it for Pope John. The pass to Formisano. Here's Formisano. Got number 17 on him. Formisano skating towards the far boards. Around the red line. Now gives it to Armiger. Armiger coming in to the Ringwood end, but Boyce was just inside the zone, and it'll be an offside. 10:53 remaining, second period. 3-0, Pope John leads over Ringwood. 39 seconds remaining on the penalty to number 2. It'll be Stillwagon taking the draw with Ziegler on the right, Marshall on the left. Hannah Marshall on defense along with Aiden Armiger. Here's Hayden inside the zone. Marshall with the shot. Knocked down by the Ringwood defense. And Armiger has to give chase. Back out to neutral ice. Armiger. Pass across to Hayden Marshall right in front of us. Hayden comes inside the zone. On the faceoff circle, the shot just missed the top right corner. Here is Stillwagon with 15 seconds to go on the power play. Now Ziegler. The shot goes wide left along the boards. Hannah Marshall pitches in. Marshall in the near corner. Hannah Marshall skating in front of Stillwagon. It's deflected, and it goes back behind the net. There's Ziegler. Now the penalty over to number 2 for Ringwood. We're back to 5-a-side. The shot goes wide into the near corner. Marshall picks it up for Pope John. Hannah Marshall on the side of the net in front to Hayden Marshall. It's back behind the Ringwood goal. Back to Hannah. Hannah drops below the goal line. Pass in front to Stillwagon. The shot. Save. It's loose. It goes into the back of the net, but did they already blow the whistle? It looks like they blew the whistle. And the puck is inside the net, but I think, are they going to count the goal? Let's wait and see. Now the referee said he blew the whistle, and I think I had heard it too. So face-off will be deep inside the Ringwood end. So Hayden Marshall was able to put it into the back of the net, but only after the whistle is blown. And so we got a face-off deep inside the Ringwood end. 3-0, Pope John leads over Ringwood. Goes back to Josh Boyce. Boyce in the low slot. Ringwood plays him off the puck. And so the Lancers inside the Pope John end. Coming in to number 2, the shot on goal. He scores. So number 2 determined to get a goal there to make up for the double minor that he had. And number 2 with the goal makes it 3-1. Pope John over Ringwood.
2 from 23.
Well, 2 from 23 on the goal with 9:40 remaining in the second period. And it's now 3-1 Pope John. Formasano will take the draw for Pope John. Against number 8 for Ringwood. Lancers win it. 24 sends it all the way down. And it's going to be an icing as it's behind the red line. We're almost at the halfway mark in this game. The Lions lead by a deuce, 3-1 over Ringwood. Face-off will be to the left of the Ringwood netminder. Formasano taking the face-off. He's got Chamberlain on the left, Boyce on the right. Goes along the boards as number 2. Boyce checks him off the puck. Good play by Josh Boyce. Backward pass. Number 2 picks it up. Outside the zone, and there is Ringwood inside the zone. Number 2 stripped to the puck. There's Hannah Marshall. To neutral ice, number 24 along the far boards, looking to come in. Misses the right post. There's Dixon. Logan Dixon. It's taken away by number 8 for Ringwood, now to 15. 15 stripped to the puck. Chamberlain's able to play it away. Now number 23 for Ringwood. In the high slot to 16. Stolen away by Hannah Marshall. Marshall will play it off the boards. And there is Chamberlain. Caden Chamberlain with the cross-ice pass. Josh Boyce after it. And Formasano is inside the zone already on an offside. 8:34 remaining in the second period. 3-1 Pope John leads over Ringwood. This is game number 8 of the 10-game schedule for Pope John. They are 7-0, looking for their 8th consecutive victory. Stillwagon taking the face-off with Ziegler on the right, Marshall on the left. Stillwagon inside the zone. Now here's Hayden Marshall. Marshall on the backhand, the shot just wide. Stillwagon picks it up behind the net in the near corner, trying to reverse course. Ridden off the puck, there's number 17. Stillwagon with the steal to Marshall in front, the shot. He scores! Hayden Marshall past the left pad of the Ringwood goalie. And Marshall from Stillwagon makes it 4-1 Pope John. Marshall's second of the game comes with 8:17 remaining in the second period. Hayden Marshall from Tristan Stillwagon, and it's 4-1 Pope John over Ringwood. Stillwagon will take the face-off against number 25 for Ringwood. It's won by Pope John, and here's Ziegler inside the zone. Ziegler trying to get around the fence. Ronnie Ziegler with the shot. He scores! Ronnie Ziegler, the hat trick for number 23 for Pope John. And Ziegler's third goal of the game makes it 5-1. 8:06 remaining in the second period. So Marshall had evened things up with Ziegler, and now Ziegler pulls back ahead. We had this with Luke and Ryan Walsh last week as they were vying for goals. Luke got a hat trick, so did Ryan. Well, now this week it's the Ronnie Ziegler and Hayden Marshall show. Ziegler's got 3, Marshall's got 2, and it's 5-1. And here comes Marshall looking for a third. Ziegler to Stillwagon. Just misses the left post. Ziegler across to Marshall. You know he's going to want to try and even things up now. You know, Connor Dunn had done it earlier. She scored 5 goals in the game. Formasano had 2, I think, in 1. You had Luke and Ryan Walsh going back and forth. Stillwagon's had multiple goal games. And now today it's Ronnie Ziegler and Hayden Marshall. 5 goals scored by the 2 of them. And that was what gives Pope John their 5-1 lead. Here's Stillwagon right in front of us. Stillwagon coming in with Ziegler and Marshall. Drops off to Ziegler, the shot high over the crossbar and off the glass. Now here's Logan Dixon. Dixon to Marshall. Marshall along the far boards, cross ice pass to Ziegler. Ronnie Ziegler back behind the goal. It's on his backhand. Pass Marshall, and it goes over to Ringwood. And they'll skate it up over the blue line. Now over the red. Here's number 6 for Ringwood. Inside the zone. Now Ziegler with it. Ronnie Ziegler. Gets around number 14. Over the red line. Now over the blue. Ziegler to Marshall. Marshall in the high slot, the shot. He scores! Hayden Marshall with a hat trick. So, as Ziegler got his earlier, now Marshall with his hat trick. 6-1, Pope John over Ringwood. So, Marshall from Ziegler makes it 6-1. A hat trick for Ziegler, a hat trick for Marshall. 6:43 to go, second period. 6-1, Pope John. Here's Forbesano with the face-off against number 8 for Ringwood. Won by the Lancers and goes back into neutral ice. Now into the Pope John zone, number 8 with it. Ringwood player knocked down. Armiger clears the zone, and number 11 after it. All the way down into the Ringwood end, past the goal line. No icing on the play. Forbesano jumps on the puck along the near boards. Michael Forbesano loses it to number 2. Number 2 for Ringwood. Forbesano after him. Gets around Hannah Marshall all the way down the ice, and we have an icing as it crosses the goal line. Number 33, James Boyce, out of his net to play it, but only after the whistle. Clock down to 6:09 in the second period. Pope John up by 5. Michael Forbesano taking the draw, sends it in on net, off the face-off, and a stick save by the Ringwood goalie. Now it comes back to the point, outside the zone, and Hannah Marshall picks it up. Aiden Armiger at the red line. Armiger sends it in. Back to the point, there's Armiger. To Josh Boyce. Stolen by number 8. There is Marshall. So send it back in. Caden Chamberlain along the near boards now. Chamberlain with the shot goes back behind. And it's played outside the zone where Armiger gives chase. Pope John Varsity is actually playing tonight. I think they're playing against Chatham at Menon Arena in Morristown. Pope John Varsity Hockey has been doing real well this season. So, lots of success. And here is the future of Pope John Hockey. 7-0 on the season, looking to go 8-0. And we have an offside. 5:17 to go, second period. Faceoff will be just outside the Ringwood end. 3 goals by Ronnie Ziegler, 3 by Hayden Marshall, and it's 6-1, Pope John over the Ringwood Lancers. Mike Forbesano along with you, calling tonight's action. Thank you so much for joining us. Here's Ziegler right in front of us, trying to get around number 20. Inside the zone. Ziegler on the back end to Stillwagon. Tristan Stillwagon looking to set up. It's knocked off his stick. And off the boards, it comes back to neutral ice. Adam Marshall over to Ronnie Ziegler. Ziegler at the red line, now over the blue. Ziegler skating in. Backhand pass. Stolen away by Ringwood, and they charge over the blue line, now over the red. Coming inside the zone, number 23 can't handle the pass. And there's Hannah Marshall to pick it up. Marshall with it deep inside her own zone. Crosses the blue line, over the red. Ziegler has it. Ronnie Ziegler carries it into the Ringwood end. Number 20 for the Lancers steals it away. Number 20 with it at the red line. Sends it in. It's deflected by Hayden Marshall. It goes high in the air and off the kick plate behind the goal. Ziegler to Marshall. Marshall coming with Stillwagon. Taken off his stick by number 20. And Ziegler knocks him down. Well, I should say Ziegler was knocked down. But the puck comes to Marshall. Marshall with Stillwagon. Marshall on the backhand. Can't get around the defense. Marshall goes to the near corner. Hayden Marshall in front. The shot off the post. Hayden Marshall ringing iron, and now Sister Hannah has it. Number 24 knocks her off the puck, and it comes back to center ice. There's Logan Dixon, number 9 for Pope John. Dixon coming across the blue line, inside the zone. Logan Dixon looking to set up shop. Ringwood steals the puck away with 3:30 to go here in the second period. Lancers into the Pope John ends, 2-on-2. Forward coming in is number 23 for Ringwood. Armiger on him. Backwards pass number 20. Poked away by Ziegler. Outside the zone, there's Forbesano. Michael Forbesano with a beautiful pass to Ronnie Ziegler. Back to Forbesano. Shot comes in. He scores! Michael Forbesano puts it past the Ringwood goaltender. And with 3:02 remaining, Formisano gets on the board. It's 7-1.
22 for 23.
So Formisano's goal assisted by number 23, Ronnie Ziegler. And Pope John now up 7-1. So 3 for Ziegler, 3 for Marshall, and 1 added on by Formisano. And it is 7-1, Pope John. Here's the pass by Armiger to Formisano, trying to get around number 28. Inside the zone, here comes Formisano with Chamberlain. The shot, wide left and off the near boards. Here's Armiger, sends it back in to Formisano. Tried to get it to Chamberlain. Stolen away by Ringwood. The Lancers over the blue line, now over the red. Number 28 coming into the zone. Armiger pokes it off his stick. Great play by Aiden Armiger. Here's number 17 for Ringwood. Formisano forechecking on him. Good pressure. Gets a stick on it. Slows it down so Josh Boyce has a chance. Here's number 6 for Ringwood. Inside the zone. 6 in the near corner in front of 14. Pad save by James Boyce. He kicks out that pad like a pinball flipper. Sends it to the near corner. Number 28 for Ringwood. Stolen away by Armiger, and here's Chamberlain. Caden Chamberlain with Formisano. And with Josh Boyce. Boyce coming in to Formisano. Formisano on the faceoff dot. The shot saved by the Ringwood goalie. It's behind the net. Formisano now with it, trying to backhand to Josh Boyce. Can't do so, and number 7 with the puck for Ringwood. It's in the Zamboni doors. Comes back out to the Ringwood defense, and they're able to escape the zone. Minute 34 to go, second period. Pope John up by 6. Here's number 17 trying to get around Dixon. Back behind the net. Poked away by Aiden Armiger. And Armiger will wrap it around. There's number 14 with it. 14 into 17 for Ringwood. The shot on goal deflected down by Dixon. And here comes Logan Dixon over the blue line. Now over the red. Dixon and Formisano. Logan Dixon with the puck. Trying to get around defense. Oh, he pulled a nice move, but just couldn't bring the puck with him. He got around the defenseman, but the puck wouldn't come. So, here's Dixon at the point. Skates in along the far boards. Dixon with the shot. Save, it's loose. And the goaltender plops down and covers just before Pope John can put the rebound in. 50.2 seconds to go in the second period. Logan Dixon inches away from making it 8-1. The faceoff will be to the left of the Ringwood netminder. It'll be Stillwagon, Ziegler, and Marshall, along with Hannah Marshall on defense with Aiden Armiger. Stillwagon with it. Comes back to Aiden Armiger. The shot saved by the Ringwood goalie. Good low shot by Aiden Armiger. Here is Hannah Marshall behind the net. Marshall hits the brakes, turns back around. Marshall looking to pass. It's in the slot, cleared away by Ringwood. Now Marshall gets it back. Hannah Marshall in the near corner to Stillwagon. The shot knocked down along the far boards. Here is Armiger. Number 6 for Pope John. Aiden Armiger coming in. Back to Hayden Marshall. Marshall fires. Blocker glove save. Here's Hannah Marshall with the shot. Saved by the Ringwood goalie. And Hannah gets it back in the near corner. 12 seconds to go in the period. With the pass across to Stillwagon. He scores! Tristan Stillwagon makes it 8-1, Pope John. So Hannah Marshall from the corner passes it right onto the tape of Tristan Stillwagon. And so it's Tristan Stillwagon from Hannah Marshall. 8-1, Pope John leads over Ringwood with 6.4 seconds to go. Face-off, won by Pope John. Here comes Ziegler inside the zone. The shot on goal. Blocker glove save as the buzzer sounds. And that's the end of the second period. 8-1, Pope John leads over Ringwood. We'll be back to third period action after this. Thank you. How obnoxious is that? What is that?
Crazy guy.
Wow. The assist was from 17. Yeah, their number is blocked by the close, so. There you go.
killed the kid. He didn't want to come up because they started yelling. He was like, everyone forcing him.
He just came over to the camera and started waving his arm in front of me. And I'm like, same kid.
I was just behind you. Like, I thought he was doing it. So. Could have been. Yeah, that's not good.
Michael, keep your cool around number 2. Keep it cool, all right?
What?
Just keep it cool.
Okay.
Keep going crazy. Welcome back to Skylands Ice World inside the Forum for Pope John Middle School Hockey. Mike Formisano along with you calling tonight's action as the Pope John Junior Lions lead over Ringwood 8-1 as we start the third period. Goals by Ronnie Ziegler, 3 of them. Hayden Marshall with 3. Michael Formisano and Tristan Stillwagon. And there's your scoring. Pope John now going left to right on your screen in their blue uniforms trimmed by white. Ringwood in their red jerseys trimmed by white and black. They're going right to left. Formisano on number 23, and he comes in. Formisano with the shot, just misses the right post, and it goes into the near corner. Here's number 16 with it for Ringwood. Goes back around, now number 20 for the Lancers. Off the glass, inside the zone, and there is Logan Dixon. Dixon knocked off his stick. Here's number 20 with the shot. Goes wide and back behind the net. Lions looking to go 8-0 on the season. They're up by 7 right now as we enter the third period. Should be a running clock situation, and we'll confirm that after the first quote-unquote stoppage. It's in the Zamboni doors now, number 25 trying to dig it out. Boyson on there. Comes back to Ringwood. Inside the Pope John end. Shot on goal. Saved by Boyson. It's loose. And he gets the right pad on it. As number 26 tries to knock Hannah Marshall out of the way. And number 36, Hayden Marshall, going right in, zipping in there to make sure Hannah's all right, which she is. 13:48 to go. And yes, it is a running clock situation as Pope John leads by 7. So Stillwagon, Ziegler, Hayden Marshall, Aiden Armiger, and Logan Dixon out there for Pope John. Stillwagon wins the draw, gives it to Dixon. Dixon in the near corner. Logan Dixon back behind the net. Dixon will skate it out over the blue line, now over the red. Logan Dixon over the blue, coming into the zone. Dixon trying to get a shot on goal. It goes behind, but he's still got the puck. Stolen away by Stillwagon, who has Pope John's 8th goal of the game. Stillwagon with the stick on number 28, trying to knock the puck free. Goes over to 14. Here's Armiger, back behind the net. Over to Hayden Marshall. We'll see if Ronnie and Hayden can one-up each other or if they stay tied at 3 goals each. Or maybe go to 4 goals each, who knows. Here's Hayden Marshall coming in. Marshall with the shot, he scores! Wow, Hayden Marshall takes the lead over Ronnie Ziegler on the individual goals tonight. Marshall's 4th of the night. And it makes it 9-1. Pope John over Ringwood.
You just called me 9 zones. We said it. We said it.
And so activity between Pope John and Ringwood away from the play. So 12-11 to go in the third period as things are ratcheting up a little bit. Here's Ziegler. Ziegler with the shot. Deflected down. 9-1. Hayden Marshall leading the way with 4 goals. Ronnie Ziegler with 3. And we got a penalty against Ringwood. No, it's going to be against Pope John as Aiden Armiger touches up. It's a hook. And so Marshall will come to the box. Sorry, Hayden.
36 blue, minor, hook.
All right, hook and call against Marshall. And so it'll be a face-off deep inside the Pope John end. Ziegler will take the draw.
Michael, shut up,
It's Ziegler, Stillwagon, Dixon, and Armiger out there for Pope John. Ziegler taking the face off against number 24. Along the far boards, here's number 4 with it stolen away by Stillwagon. Tristan Stillwagon with Ronnie Ziegler. Coming in, Stillwagon to Ziegler in front. It's loose and poked away by the Ringwood netminder. Now here's Armiger with the shot. Goes wide left. Stillwagon in the corner. Tristan Stillwagon with it. Gives it to Ziegler. Ziegler back behind the net. Ronnie Ziegler into the near corner now. Turns back around. He's got 24 on him. Ziegler carries it around. Looks for a wraparound, and he gets it. Ronnie Ziegler with goal number 4 for him. And so Ziegler ties Hayden Marshall back 4 apiece. And that contest continues on. What's great to see is they're cheering each other on, which is great. So Ronnie and Hayden seeing who will finish with more goals, or will they both finish with 4? Either way, it's 10-1, Pope John over Ringwood.
No, it wasn't 36.
Oh, face off at center ice will be Formisano taking it from Pope John. Got Aiden Armiger and Hannah Marshall out there along with Caden Chamberlain. Comes over to Hannah. Here's Hannah in front of the official scores table, sends it into the Ringwood end. All the way back out. Armiger chasing it down. Aiden Armiger, number 6 for Pope John. 36 seconds to go on the penalty to Hayden Marshall. We're down to 10:37 to go, third period. Now 24 with it. In the slot, the shot. Saved by Boyce. And a cover. Catching glove save.
Did you hear what he said?
I didn't hear it. We'll talk after the game. Yeah, don't worry about it, man. Let him talk. Look at the scoreboard. Look at the scoreboard. 10:30 to go here in the third period. Formisano will take the draw against number 25 for Ringwood. Face off to the left of Boyce. It's won by Formisano. Goes back to Armiger. Looking to clear the zone. Number 20 with the backhander. Saved by James Boyce. And it goes into the far corner. Armiger now to Formisano. Formisano knocked down. 5 seconds to go on the minor to Marshall. And here is number 2 with it for Ringwood. Over the red line. Marshall's out of the box. Number 2 inside the zone. We're back to 5-a-side hockey. 10:05 to go here in the third period. 10-1, Pope John leads over Ringwood. Shot in, saved by Boyce, who again has been stellar in net for Pope John. Now Armiger in the far corner. Stolen away by number 23 for Ringwood. Shot wide right. And back behind the net. And there's Pope John. Formisano with it. Michael Formisano over the red, now over the blue. Formisano coming in. Shot on goal. Saved by the Ringwood goalie. Now Hayden Marshall along the far boards. Marshall will take it outside the zone, and they'll kill some time. Hayden Marshall at neutral ice now skated back to his own zone. Hayden Marshall over the red, now over the blue. Marshall coming in. Marshall with the shot. Wide left. Ziegler racing to get it. They'll come back outside the zone. Over the red line. Now Hannah Marshall along the boards. Puck comes out to Ziegler. Here's Ronnie Ziegler with it. You got Ziegler, Stillwagon, and Marshall looking to come into the zone. Along the far board, Ziegler holds it right at the line. Gives it to Stillwagon. Tristan Stillwagon along the far boards coming in. Stillwagon with the shot off the side of the net. And Stillwagon picks it up behind. Now he'll go down below. Gives it to Ziegler. Ziegler in the far corner. Past Armiger comes outside the zone, and with 8:32 remaining, all the way back down into Pope John's end. James Boyce plays it out off the boards. Can't escape the zone. There's number 6 with it. And so here's Stillwagon. Stillwagon tied up. Number 28 with it for Ringwood. Shot off of Armiger. Marshall left at number 25, and there's Ziegler with it. Ronnie Ziegler. Pass to Marshall. Marshall in front. Marshall shoots. He scores. Hayden Marshall, number 5 for him. And Marshall's 5th goal of the night makes it 11-1. Pope John over Ringwood. So Marshall, 5 goals for him. Ziegler's got 4. Formisano with 1. Stillwagon with 1. And there are your 11 goals for Pope John, as it's 11-1. Well, it took a while for the Lions to get going in this one, but they have finally added on. And it's almost as big as the 14-0 score from earlier this season. 11-1, Pope John leads as they're well on their way to their 8th consecutive victory. Here's number 28 at the blue line. Well, the Pope John machine keeps rolling on. And here is Logan Dixon over the blue line. Drop pass to Josh Boyce. He's knocked down and goes along the far boards. And Ringwood to pick up the puck. Over the red line now, over the blue. Trying to get around Hannah Marshall. There's number 17 with it. Marshall knocks him off the puck. Good play by Hannah Marshall. Number 28 for Ringwood steals it away. On the side of the net. Saved by James Boyce. And picked up by Hannah Marshall behind the net. Out to Caden Chamberlain. Chamberlain with it. Chamberlain over the blue line. Now over the red. Chamberlain, Boyce, and Formisano in. The pass to Formisano. Shoots. Saved by the Ringwood goalie. It's loose. Pope John trying to put it home. Can't do so. And Ringwood picks it up. Over the blue. Now over the red. 2-on-2. Ringwood coming inside the Pope John end. Number 17 with it. Deflected down off Dixon. 6:17 to go, third period. 11-1, Pope John leads over the Ringwood Lancers. Here is Josh Boyce. Boyce inside the zone. Drops it off to Chamberlain. Chamberlain skating in. Tied up. Goes in the near corner. Now around to the far end. Dixon holds it at the point. Passes it up to Marshall. Goes in the corner. There's Formisano. Back to Dixon. Logan Dixon at the top of the face-off circle. Shot on goal. Save into the breadbasket of the Ringwood netliner. 5:38 and counting here in the third period. Pope John leads over Ringwood 11-1. Again, please join us next Sunday at 7 p.m., I believe, for Pope John versus High Point. Pope John and High Point right here from Skylands Ice World. It'll be the High Point Kittatinny and Wallkill team. Right now, West Dover Pequannock is playing High Point across the hall inside the Coliseum. We don't have the score right now. The shot in by Marshall, saved by the Ringwood goalie. And he holds on. So Marshall looking for a half dozen. Denied there. And the Ringwood goalie down. Injury timeout will take one as well. Pope John leads 11-1.
Hello? Are they supposed to stop the clock? Or is it...
I think so. They did. It's 4:41.
It was running before.
Welcome back to Skylands Ice World inside the Forum. As the goaltender for Ringwood is okay, and it's good to see. We'll get back to action in just a second. Meanwhile, on the Pope John Athletics schedule coming up, we've got a couple of boys basketball games as well as girls basketball games this week. We start with the girls on Tuesday afternoon at 4 o'clock as they'll take on Pequannock Valley Middle School at Pequannock. And then later on that evening at 7:30, it'll be the boys basketball team, 8th grade, taking on Newton Middle School. That's at Pope John High School. Then the boys will have another game on Wednesday at 3:30 p.m. And then the girls will play again on Saturday at 4 p.m. Shot in, he scores! Logan Dixon from the point. Past the Ringwood goalie, kind of floated in, but Dixon gets on the score sheet, and Logan Dixon makes it 12-1. Was it you, Hayden? It was Hayden. Hayden tipped it in. So Dixon shot, tipped by Hayden, and so that's actually going to be Marshall's 6th goal of the game. So Marshall from Dixon with 4:21 to go in the third period. 12-1, Pope John leads over Ringwood. As we said, those are the games on the schedule for the basketball team. The wrestling team is doing very well. They just finished a tournament in Mount Olive this past week where they finished in 3rd place overall. A great accomplishment for the Pope John Wrestlers and Coach Dave Fritz. So we congratulate Pope John Wrestling as they continue their season. And let's see, the hockey team now going to 8-0 after this game with 3:35 and counting. And they'll take on High Point next week. So there we go. Hockey, basketball, wrestling. And we look forward to the spring as we have the spring sports schedule. Lacrosse, maybe baseball, whatever else we can add on to the schedule. Here's Armiger, pass to Chamberlain. And before you know it, we'll be back to the fall and football again. Puck at center ice, number 25 with it for Ringwood. Gets around Chamberlain, comes inside the Pope John end. And here is number 15, Josh Boyce. Boyce at the red line with 2:54 remaining. He'll pull it back. Backhand pass to Armiger. Number 23 for Ringwood. Lancers into the Pope John end. Shot on goal, save. Boyce got a right pad on it. And it comes back out to the line. They held it in, however, number 2. But they can't keep possession. Now the puck goes over to Formisano for Pope John. It's number 23. Formisano comes in. Turns to the backhand. He's knocked down by 23, and Ringwood picks up the puck, number 16 with it. Josh Boyce trying to get a hand on it. Number 23 behind his own net for Ringwood. 2:09 to go, 3rd period. And number 2 and Formisano getting into it. Behind the play, number 16 with it for Ringwood. Ringwood has it on the side, shot in, saved by Boyce. Number 25 with it. Shot comes in, catching glove save by Boyce, and they'll hold on. Minute 45 to go, 3rd period. 12-1, Pope John leads over Ringwood. Well, the faceoff will be deep inside the Pope John end. 2 more weeks to go, and then playoffs. I believe there'll be a semifinal round, and then the finals. So right now, if you look at it, Pope John is in the driver's seat for the first playoff spot. You'd have West Milford Pequannock, along with High Point, and then possibly Jefferson. Backhand shot by Ziegler, saved by the Ringwood netminder. So I would believe those would be the 4 teams that you're talking about when talking about playoffs. Pope John, West Milford Pequannock, High Point, and then Jefferson. Face off to the right of the Ringwood netminder. Here the Lancers with it. Comes outside the zone. Right in front of us. And Stillwagon knocks 28 into the bench right near the penalty box area. That is why I backed up. I don't want to be completely in the action. Here's Marshall skating it out. Over the red line, now over the blue. Marshall coming in. Pass to Ziegler, just out of his reach. And it goes into the far corner. Stolen away by Ringwood. Comes outside the Ringwood end. Marshall intercepts. Hayden Marshall over the red line, now over the blue. Marshall on the face-off circle. Hits the brakes. Pass back to Ziegler. Ziegler along the far boards. Ziegler with the shot. He scores! So that's Ziegler's 5th of the game. Marshall with 6. Ziegler with 5. And there's a buzzer. The Pride has spoken. The Pope John Lions defeat Ringwood Lancers. Final score, 12-1. Actually, I think that was Ziegler's 4th of the game. It could have been. We'll get the count later. You had Marshall and Ziegler lead the way. I know Formisano and Stillwagon had a goal each. Either way, a 12-1 victory for Pope John over the Ringwood Lancers. James Boyce playing brilliantly in that. And it's a grade 8 for Pope John, 8-0, as they head into next week's game against High Point with a perfect 8-0 record. Please join us next Sunday night for middle school hockey. It'll be Pope John and High Point, as the Lions will look to go 9-0 in the regular season. Final score once again from the Forum inside Skylands Ice World. It's Pope John Lions 12, and Ringwood Lancers 1. For everyone here, this is Mike Formisano saying thanks for joining us. And we'll see everyone next Sunday night for more Pope John Middle School hockey. Have a good week, everyone.